now on the way to the Secretary of State's office. We're actually driving on the highway in Sacramento. Take a look. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jacob Soboroff for Why Tuesday, coming to you today from Sacramento, California, the state capital here in California, from in front of the Secretary of State's office here in Sacramento. In May of this year, California Secretary of State commissioned what she called a top-to-bottom study of the state's voting systems here in California. There's 58 different counties in California, and each of those counties can pick and choose from 4 different voting systems that are certified by the Secretary of State here in California. Well, Debra, Bowen, the Secretary of State, did this study with some nationally renowned computer scientists from the University of California, and the study came back and showed there were some pretty serious problems with the voting system here in California and the way that we vote, the systems that we use. So that's what we're here to talk to her about today and to see what she thinks that we can do about them. Guys, I found my way here to the Secretary of State's office. I'm standing with California Secretary of State Debra Bowen, now an international celebrity because of all of her efforts on behalf of election reform. First of all, thanks for having us in today. I want to just start off by asking you, can you tell us a little bit about the top-to-bottom review of the voting systems here in California, and what did they find?
Well, I set out to do the top-to-bottom review right after I was elected last November, 2006, and it's because we wanted to put to rest all the questions and controversies about voting systems. So we literally did a top-to-bottom review of all our systems. I was able to enter into a contract with the University of California so that we had an incredible amount of expertise. And the most troublesome findings were in the area of security. And there our teams that were doing the review were able to get through both the physical security and the software security of all of the systems they tested. And even without having access to the computer source code, they were able to make changes in election results in a way that wouldn't have been detected by an election official.
What does that mean to you when you hear that information?
It means we need to do a whole lot better job with voting equipment. First, I imposed new security requirements on every voting system that we're going to use in California. Things like you can't take the voting machines home overnight and have them sitting in somebody's garage or in the back of a school or in someone's car, even if they have security seals on them. Also, with some of the equipment, I made the decision that we just wouldn't use it at all in California except for the limited purpose of providing one piece of equipment in a precinct for access to disabled voters. And that is only because we don't have anything better for disabled voters.
It's interesting because on YouTube, we get a lot of video responses to our videos from international people as well. And a lot of the Australian viewers of our videos talk about the central election administration system that they have in Australia. If you could determine the system for the entire United States of America and say, in my ideal world, this would be my election reform package for the nation, what would you say?
Well, I'd have to split that into 2 parts. One would be 25 years from now. I would hope that 25 years from now, we have a system in which anyone can vote remotely from wherever they happen to be in the world, and it is so secure and so accurate that we don't have to worry about anybody attempting to tamper. I mean, we have a generation of young people growing up who are YouTubed, Facebooked, IM'd. It's hard for me to imagine them 25 years from now going to the polls on the first Tuesday in November. For right now, I think we're better with a much more tried and true system. The optical scan, fill in the bubble system that we're also familiar with has the advantage that it can be counted by a computer, but if there's ever any question, you can go back and you have the original paper ballot that was marked by the voter. So yeah, there's still some issues with paper. In the history of elections, there have been missing ballots, additional ballots, ballot box tops floating in the San Francisco Bay one year. But that requires what computer experts will tell you is a retail level of computer fraud. You have to do it one ballot or one precinct at a time. And the scary thing about electronic voting is you can go in and make wholesale changes if you have access. If you think about what's at stake with elections, it's everything. It's do we go to war? Do we not go to war? What's our domestic policy? Do we cover everyone with health care? What's our stand on immigration? everything is at stake. And Willie Sutton always used to say about why he robbed banks, because that's where the money is. Well, elections are where the power is. So I think we have to assume that there are going to be some people who would prefer to change the outcome of an election the easy way, not by going and talking to people and campaigning and making the case for why their ideas are best, but by stealing the election. And maybe it's because I grew up in Illinois, outside Chicago, and I'm acutely aware of the long and rich history of election irregularity.
Mayor Daley, you're invited to come on to Why Tuesday and talk with us also. Just a final question. In terms of structurally, things that may also increase voter turnout, we asked the question, why do we vote on Tuesday? Mm-hmm. And we've been around the country, a lot of elected officials don't know the answer to that question, and we don't know if it's, because they're not paying attention, they don't want to face up to the fact that this is a law that was set in 1840, now I gave you the answer, but it was set in 1845.
The crops are in, right?
Yeah, right.
But it's not too cold yet.
Exactly.
In November.
So, what's your feeling on that? Moving election day to the weekend or making a national holiday or other structural changes beyond voting machines to help people get out to the polls?
I think it's long overdue that we take a look at all the possibilities of things that might make it easier to vote. Again, I would hope that 25, 50 years from now, we're not having a discussion about how people actually get to the polling place. That we have a
Unbelievable,
yeah.
Right?
I mean, really, I can do so many things with my cell phone now or my BlackBerry. We're not at a point where that can be a secure election system. But I am sure that somewhere there is a computer science student sitting in a lecture class right now.
Maybe watching this video.
Maybe watching this video, who's thinking about a way to build a mousetrap better. So, but still, anything that we can do to encourage people to turn out. And I think YouTube and Facebook and MySpace, great ways just to talk about issues and ways that you could talk across the country. You no longer just have to have a conversation with people who are your neighbors in the geographical sense. Whole new sources, whole new definitions of community. It's a very exciting time.
Log on to whytuesday.org, everybody, and I want to say thanks to the Secretary of State of California, Debra Bowen. Thanks so much for talking with us.
It's great to be with you.